Good morning. It's Sunday, May 24th, and we're going to continue our discussion on action with how that ties into the idea of good luck with a prompt from the Daily Stoic, which is, how can I make my own good fortune? Now, I don't think that it's possible to provide a surefire set of instructions for how one makes their own good fortune. Unfortunately, life isn't that straightforward. As much as we would like to believe it, we aren't in complete control of our destiny, and no amount of hard work and diligence can guarantee you anything in life. I think the outbreak of coronavirus has made that abundantly clear, as millions of small businesses have been forced to shut their doors, regardless of how disciplined they operated pre-COVID. This is where equanimity becomes so important. How do we handle ourselves when things don't go our way, despite our best efforts? We've covered that concept quite a bit. How do we handle ourselves in the face of adversity? But equanimity goes both ways. We have to consider the opposite situation. How will we handle ourselves in the face of unexpected prosperity? My response is that we handle it with the same acknowledgement of the events occurring beyond our control. I'm reminded of this idea proposed by Seneca, in which he says, "Gifts which chance brings our way are not to be regarded as possessions." He then cites a verse from Publius, which I try to keep mentally accessible for times like this, which reads, "If you pray a thing may, and it does come your way, 'tis a long way from being your own." So that reminds me of early 2019, when I absolutely smashed my personal record in the half marathon. I cut 18 seconds per mile off of my pace from the previous year, which in and of itself was another personal record. It was beyond any expectation that I might have had coming into the race. And as it came time to prepare for 2020, I had a lot of people asking me how I was going to follow up that performance. And I think I frustrated or surprised many of them with comments like, "I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not really concerned with what I did in 2019." I knew that the results that I achieved were brought on by a combination of hard work, for which I had more tangible influence, and external factors of circumstance, for which I had none. In fact, I would argue that all the externals, the inputs directed by chance, had a greater contribution to the end results. Consider injury. Consider hot and humid weather instead of ideal race conditions. Consider equipment malfunction. I've had all of these happen to me in the past. However, on this particular day, I experienced none of those, thereby setting up the perfect storm and environment for me to maximize the manifestation of all my preparation and hard work. Sure, I was elated whenever I crossed the finish line. In fact, as I entered the last mile, fully aware of what was about to happen, I felt joyous tears begin to form in my eyes. It was an acknowledgement of this particular moment which I wanted to appreciate fully. I wanted to savor every feeling and soak it all in, because I was aware that no matter how hard I ever worked again, I may never achieve results this good. I understood that, as Seneca had written, what fortune had made mine was not my own. I should be prepared to embrace it in the present and then give it back. Similarly, I should not hold on to hope that I would ever be reunited with it in the future. I just had to be. I had to be present. And I think it's possible that somebody could interpret the equanimity that I strive for as total indifference, as though it makes no difference to me on how the outcome plays out. But if you know me, you know that that's not a fair assessment. If that were the case, then how would I find the motivation and self-discipline to continue to draw upon? I'm just extremely vigilant of any externals, whether good or bad, and prepare myself to receive them as equally as possible. I don't hold out hope for luck. In fact, I don't really like the concept of luck. I think it can be dangerously distracting from keeping us focused on the present, especially if we project ourselves with hope into the future. That's why when I hear the line that luck is where hard work meets opportunity, I kind of cringe a little bit. It's not luck. The results you wanted or were satisfied with, not luck, are found at the intersection of hard work and opportunity. You wouldn't be there without either contribution. And that's why we do the work. That's why we choose the correct action. That's why we hold ourselves accountable. That's why we don't shirk responsibility or make excuses. Those are all the areas that we can control, and those are all the areas that if we fulfill our end of the bargain, we'll be ready and prepared to capitalize upon when all of the things we can't control, the opportunity, do happen. Anyways, hope you have a great day.